Hello everyone, this is a quick reminder about how to write a conclusion paragraph. So, things you'll need for your conclusion are access to your hypothesis that you wrote during the pre-lab. A hypothesis should never be written after you've completed a lab, as well as any process data that can be found in the data analysis section. So first, with your hypothesis, remember your hypothesis is an if-then statement, and this if-then-because statement is going to have a prediction about what you think will happen in the experiment. Now recall that a hypothesis can be unsupported and you can still have a very successful lab. So don't feel like if your prediction was wrong that your lab was a failure, because it actually wasn't. In the real world, oftentimes hypotheses are not supported instead of being supported. So first thing, just restate that hypothesis. It should be really easy. Second, you want to indicate whether it was supported or refuted. Remember, it's very important to use the term support and not the word proven. We cannot prove a hypothesis. So the third thing you want to do is show how that hypothesis was supported or refuted. And the way that you show how that hypothesis was supported or refuted is by using process data. Okay, so process data is going to be data that you've done some sort of manipulation to based on the raw or empirical data that was collected in the laboratory. So as you guys recall with our Alka-Seltzer lab, we did 3 trials at each temperature for tablet dissolve time and then calculated the average from those 3 trials. So the average is what we want to use in our conclusion paragraph. So in using this process data, you want to make sure that you always reference the data table where it was found. So in this case, it would be table 2. But you need to make sure the reader knows where to go to find the information that you're talking about. So for example, you could say something like, according to table 2, the average amount of time it took for a tablet to dissolve in cold water was 293 seconds compared to room temperature water, which was 182 seconds. And then you would go on to also compare the warm water. So something you always want to make sure you do is compare each experimental group. In this experiment, we had 2, both cold water and warm water, to your control group data. Remember, the purpose of the control group is to show the normal situation. It's to provide a baseline. And then finally, what you need to do is explain the science behind the trend. So really, why did this happen? So in this case, we're talking about kinetic energy and the movement of water molecules, but you want to make sure that once you provide the data that supports the hypothesis, you represent the fact that you know what that data means. And these are the simple steps to writing a successful conclusion paragraph.